Gentlemen, there's a new toy slash tool in the shop. Can anybody spot it? This is it right here. I'd like you guys to meet Van Norman. This is Van Norman number 12. That's not the 12th one, that's the model number. Anyway, I want to show you guys this kind of a neat little machine. I've always wanted a milling machine. I just barely picked this up on Facebook Marketplace for dirt cheap. This used to belong to the United States Air Force. So this started out its life early on as a milling machine, either in an airport hangar, aircraft hangar, or my guess is on an aircraft carrier. They seem to use these small machines on ships because of their lightweight, portability, and their stout little machines. So this little machine weighs right around 1,800 pounds. It's barely 6 foot tall. I'm looking at eye level with this thing right here. It's about 6 foot tall. So, kind of want to give you guys a tour of this and show you the ups, downs, inside outs of it. What previous owners have done. Who knows how many owners this thing has had. So, there was a gentleman on YouTube that owned this in North Salt Lake. He went through the gearboxes, this gearbox, and there's a gearbox up front. He went through them, set the gears, added new oil, freshened them up, cleaned them up. So everything works great. This is the gearbox for the table drive up there. Over here, this is the second gearbox he went through. This is the gearbox for the spindle here. That turns the tool. So a couple owners ago, this motor got changed. This used to be a 3-phase 220 motor. Now it's a single phase 110 volt 1 horsepower motor. Somewhere along the line, the double shiv got replaced here with a single. I want to try to source out another double for the top. I've only dinked around with this light cutting. I imagine under a heavy load this might slip a bit. We'll see when I get some parts. Let's talk about how this works. Okay, this front gearbox that drives the spindle, this is a 9-speed transmission gear drive that's fed by a belt. The table gearbox back here, this is a 12-speed. This is fed by this chain. Now, originally this Van Norman had this chain on it. This is called a silent drive chain. But this chain totally outgrew the sprockets. By outgrew, I mean it stretched. So you can see there's no way this chain would cog in with these gears. Not all at once. So this thing was wandering and slipping and jumping and just making a racket. So I took that out, shit-canned it, and I got on eBay, bought me a number 35 go-kart chain and a 6-inch sprocket, or excuse me, 60-tooth sprocket, and a W series weld-on hub. I welded this hub on, then a 1/2-inch ID 12-tooth sprocket. So we've got 5-to-1 ratio here with these two, same as this thing. Ain't that a jewel? So let's take a tour of how this thing works. We'll take a tour here briefly. So first let's start with this. We all know inherently roller chains are not quiet. This is by no means quiet. I would imagine that one was silent in its day because of the design, but this is noisy, but it's not as loud as it was with that thing on it. So we'll give it a try here. See, that's pretty nice. Now, how this works, this drives the gearbox, whatever ratio you have this gearbox set at. I believe I've got this set for like 20 inches per minute, which is pretty quick for a table. We'll go look up here. So what that gearbox does, it drives this shaft right down there. I'll turn it on. You see that shaft? That will move this. This is called the X-axis. We'll sit down here. Switch right here. So that's power drive. It works great both directions. It has two limit switches. It will go past this one, but it can't go past this one because the design of the table. So anyway, the guy that owned it freshened up the gearboxes. He did not do this one. I've got to do this one. This is the head. This drives the head, the spindle, out of this gearbox here. Now, how you change speeds, you cog these in and out. These slide the gears back and forth. So when you get over there over a hole, this drops in. Sometimes you have to wiggle them with this to cog those, get those teeth to go together, but that's how it works. This head is vertical and horizontal, so you can rotate this head. You can mill, it's vertical now, you can also mill horizontally with it if you had a certain attachment that I don't have. This has a long, big drawbar that goes down through here that threads onto a collet. Right now I've got a 3/8 collet in this, driving a 5/16 end mill. That looks like it's broke. No, it's still good. Like I said, I've just been playing with this lightly, not hammering on it yet. So this is considered the y-axis, this table, or x-axis. This table shifting side to side is x-axis. Y is the table going in and out. This is the y-axis right here. It's fairly slow and fairly stiff. You can see it moving though. And this is your knee mill. There's no spindle on there, or there's no quill on this. So this head does not move up and down. All that moves is this knee comes up. And that's the Armstrong. That takes some effort to lift that up. Not that bad, but I'm gonna build some arms if I do much milling here. So it's X, Y, Z, up and down Z. Now there's a lot of backlash in all these. You can see there's a lot, you know. So what I figured the best thing to do would be, the previous owner, he installed this DRO, but he didn't have all the scaling done, which I don't have done yet either. What these are called glass scales. They sit up in there, and this sensor rides on that scale, or the glass scale rides across the top of that sensor, and that tells you the position of the whatever axis, or what do you call it, axis, whatever axis you're on at the time. So this DRO is a must for any old mill. There's so much slop and backlash. So let's take a look at this x-axis. We'll try to run this out to 1 inch. That's our true reading. That's where we're at. So we'll take it out where, see there, 8, 9, there. It takes a sec to get it right on 1 inch, but we're getting close. I mean, you can dial into within 10/1000ths of an inch. This digit is 10/1000ths of an inch. So we'll try that. You know, I'm gonna have to play with it to get the fine motor skills to do this. And then here's the Z-axis. This is up and down. Let's take a look at that there. Here we go. Watch this change. There's your Z-axis there. So you can't have a mill without a DRO these days. These are the old dial wheels. I certainly wouldn't trust these because that's backlash moving in the gears. So that's a no-no. This will be a good thing. Also, what I've done, I've added this little light. It just clamps on. This will clamp on anywhere on the mill. And also, the scale for the Z-axis is mounted back here. So my wife found this little neoprene diving suit piece of material at the thrift store. I just bolted it on here, a couple aluminum flat bar, and I've got a magnet holding it up there, neodymium magnet. So that'll keep all the swarf and shit out of this off the scale, and also keep the weigh clean. Those are called weighs. Everywhere the machine rides is on a weighs. All three axes have ways. This table here has a way. Sorry about that. So I went in, and they have a gib in there that tightens, keeps things tight in there. I went in, cleaned this table, cleaned the gears, put new Vectra way oil on everything, and also tightened the gib up. So it's free turning. It's a little tight at the end, but it turns beautifully. Smooth, nice. Over here, put a new handle on this end. I still have to get a, what do they call it? Woodruff key in here to tighten this up, to cog this in. That's brand new. Also, on this headgear box, I think we mentioned the drawbar. What you do before you run this, you're supposed to, or every day, every morning, you're supposed to pull these grease plugs, grease caps, and see here. Then you'll fill this cap with white lithium grease and then screw it back on. When you screw that back on, that'll pressurize that grease and force it into the seals on both ends of this machine. Both seals will get the grease, and that grease is supposed to help hold the oil in. So I'm going to put some 70-90 weight in here. And you're filled, I would imagine this is full here. This is that's where you add the oil. Let's take a look what else we got on this old girl. That's about it. I'll show you the tooling I got with it. I've got one collet in here. The thing about these old lathes, or old mills, is parts availability sucks. Guys, this is a 1943. Sit down and listen to this. 1943. This machine's 82 years old, so it's an old girl. So I got two collets with this. I got a 3/8. We'll see what else came with it and what I bought. So it came with two collets. This is a 1/2 inch collet there. Then I've also got a set of ER25 collets. And this is the collet holder for the ER25. This slides into my 1/2 inch collet. So I got some versatility there, but that does extend your milling head down a bit, but it'll be fine. I have a third collet on order. Originally these were built by Hardinge. Hardinge they're still in business, so I ordered a 3/4 inch collet for this, which is quite a big collet, and it was $250. So this stuff, they're very expensive, and that 3/4 will fit my shell mill here. I've actually got two shell mills, one shaft, so that should fit. I went and bought some center. I've got center finders here. I've got indicators here. I've got my indicator magnets. These are all Starrett stuff, good stuff. I have carbide bits for the shell mills. I can't wait to try these shell mills. Also got regular end mills. I got, these are carbide end mills. A set of parallels for it. Lathe parts and shit here. And adjusters for the magnets. Not sure what's in there. Oh, these are for my 1, 2, 3 blocks here. That's what those are. Let's go down to the next one. Oh, I even have an owner's manual with it in this. 1,000 miler. Bought some dial indicators. I got a Fowler and a Starrett box. Fowler's a pretty decent brand, but they are made in China. I've also got a Chinese special here. I can't recall the name of this, but it's a pretty nice dial caliper. Digital, of course. And this is this one, after 10 minutes it goes to sleep and then shake awake. You just touch it, it comes back awake, but I still turn it off. And I've got original Starrett right here. This is old school NOS stuff. And some various stuff, dividers, caliper there. Let's go down to a couple drawers and see what we got here. A little tap and die set there. See what we got in here. Come on, fuck, open. I guess it don't want to open, does it? Depth indicators, stare it, stuff. This is a Fowler. I don't know what's in this one. I think it's another depth indicator. See what we got there? Yep, there we go. There. And then down here, we've got some more collets. These are pretty useless. This could be a fly cutter collet of sorts. This will fit the hard-inch collet there. Got some various things. This is Morse number 2 on a hard-inch collet. By the way, these are called V2 collets, or V5 collets, 5V, whatever you want to call them. And I don't know what this is. Yeah. Not going to worry about them right now. Oh, and then I've got a chuck. This is for the 5V for the machine. Morse taper number 2 for this big chuck. This came off my drill press over there. And I'm not sure which one to use. I heard these are more accurate, so we'll see which one's going to pan out the best. Accidentally ordered this. This is a 50V, not to be confused with a 5V. Huge difference in size. That drawbar I mentioned, that threads over the top of this, and that drawbar pulls this up in, and this compresses around whatever you load in it. Squeezes it. Also got a set of transfer punches and a rotary table for that bad boy. That's pretty cool stuff. Yeah, see, with that rotary table, you can also use it as a dividing head. I have all these dividing head plates here. We'll hook them up one day. When I get my other parts in, we'll start making stuff. This one here, I'd probably lathe shit here. Guessing. Oh, this is a trick to open this one. Oh, that's a tricky box. Empty. Okay. That's about all I've got. I got some tooling. So I got enough tooling to probably actually build something. When this Y-axis gets in, I got another set of scales ordered. A short one. It's a 6-inch pair. It's going to mount under here somewhere. Then I've got to put a sensor like this for the scale to read. So I'm thinking, not sure I'm going to mount it either up under here, up there, or here. I don't mind drilling through here. There's nothing behind it, but drilling through here, there's a wet gearbox, a wet sump up there. I don't really want to drill and tap that. We'll see how it goes. I also have a set of hold down clamps. And this China crap vise, this is by no means a, what's the high dollar vise they sell? Kurt vise. This is not a Kurt vise. This is probably a Chinese imitation. This came with it. It seems to be good. I've messed around with this a little bit. Haven't done a lot, but it seems to be okay. Fairly solid. But I'm no machinist, so I'm a tinker-dink around here. So, gentlemen, that's glad you met Mr. Norman, Van Norman. Call him Mr. Van Norman, I guess. So, after I get this up and done, after I get that other scale on, I'm going to flip it around. I'll hook it on one of these big hoists and just slide it back in its final resting place. Mr. Norman's going to be here for the long haul, I think. I've always wanted a mill. One to play with, that's the toy aspect, and a tool that'll be a useful tool for building just about whatever I need. Between that and my lathe over there, we can build just about anything. On smaller scale, of course. But, gentlemen, Mr. Norman. I'll probably do a shop tour when I get this thing cleaned up. Crashing this back of the shop has probably been a blessing in disguise. It gave me a good excuse to clean all my mess out. Still trying to get stuff organized here. Power tools back there. I got so much stuff. Saws, torches, welders, plasma cutter, drill press, lathe. A lot of stuff you can't even see in here. It's covered with crap, so we'll make another video, shop tour. Any of you guys want to see the shop, come over, hang out. and we'll have a cold beer. I always have ice cold beer here. All right, guys, later on. Bye now.